So to start out, you're going to be able to see the opening page is going to be a little bit different than how it's guided in APA Style 6. You're going to put your title in the middle of the page rather than segmented a little bit. You'll also have the outline that this is proposing here, so it should be fairly easy. Just follow this, and it's going to be centered, of course. So when you type this in, make sure it's centered in the middle of the page with your page number at the top right-hand corner. And notice one thing too, there's no running head. So that's something that they got rid of from APA Style 6. Usually you have a running head on the top left-hand corner of the page, and that's gone at this point. You can also notice there's no title on the top left-hand corner of the page in APA Style 7. So this is a student paper, and that's removed. So that's a good thing. It's the less thing you have to remember, and it's really important to make sure you have that outlined and documented correctly. So moving on to page 2, you're going to notice that it's almost the same with the title at the top, bolded and centered. And if you zoom in a little bit, see more information in regards to how the paper flows. Really almost no different than APA Style 6. All right, moving on to our next change. Our next big change is going to be the paper sections. So when you do your headings, that's going to be a little bit different. So you'll have, of course, bolded centered for what you're reviewing. Your level 1 heading is going to be different than APA Style 6. So level 1 is on this piece right here. So that would be a level 1 heading. Level 2 heading would look like this. So the only difference being it is italicized. And then a level 2 heading again, no difference there. Level 2 heading, another level 2 heading. Let's see if they have a level 3. No, they're sticking to level 2 headings. So when we talk about headings, if you get to a level 3 heading, what you're going to have is it indented, and it's going to start right here with a period. All right. So when we talk about headings, just a reminder. So level 1 heading or a subtopic heading will look like, this is going to start the topic per se. So you're talking about materials and methods here. So you're going to write about that. As long as you continue to talk about materials and methods, you'll have a level 1 heading. Level 2 heading would be the same thing. If you segment into a different topic completely, other than materials and methods, you would have another subtopic heading like this. If you're continuing to talk about the same thing, you'll just go level 1, level 2, level 3, and on down. If there's differences, so like we said, between level 1, level 2, and level 3, you're going to have different headings, but as soon as you switch, as I mentioned earlier, to a different topic entirely, make sure to start over in your heading cycle. And it can be a little confusing, so my recommendation for you as you're drafting the papers to email me so I can review it and help you in any way I can. Sometimes I even have trouble with it. I have to, at times ask my instructor when I'm in my doctorate program, so don't feel afraid to reach out and ask for help. All right. I don't think you're really going to be dealing with figures in this paper, but if you are, you can illustrate it here. Right. Tables are there as well. And then your references. So one of the things that we're going to have to highlight in APA Style 7 that was not highlighted as much in APA Style 6 was the use of your URL, which can be a little bit different. So you'll want to put that in there if you gain something from an online website, which I would rather you not do. So this is a good example of what I want your reference to look like. I would say this segment right here. So as you can notice, there's a DOI. DOIs can be very challenging to find. And I might have already reviewed this with you, but I'm going to review it again. I'm going to show you how to find that. So this is an article. When you're pulling an article, you have to have a DOI. And that's something that's, at times was used in the 6th edition, but it's really needed in APA Style 7. So let's see how to find a DOI. And of course, this is how you put it in your reference list, but let's see if we can find one. I'll show you really quickly. All right, Google Scholar, let's take a look. Communication skills, and how about nursing? So we get to a place where in Google Scholar, remember the easiest spot in Google Scholar is to find something with a PDF already. So in order to find the DUI of this article, so the use of simulated patients to develop communication skills in nursing education. So of course the APA reference will be here. Most of the time this is going to be 6th edition references, so be careful with that. There might be some changes you need to look at in APA Style 7 to 6. So one of the changes in APA that you need to make sure to change for the 7th edition when you're copying and pasting this this reference, and the majority of it's going to be correct. However, where it says Nurse Education Today, you want to make sure that's capitalized. So that's one thing that's different between APA Style 6 and 7. So let's see if we can find the DOI. I'm going to click on this. And sometimes you have to hunt for it. So this is Elsevier. Should be fairly easy to find the DOI. And it is right here. So I just copy and paste this into my reference. And that's how you find the DOI. Let's see if we can find another one really quickly. Here's another one, Wiley. Communication skills, some problems in nursing and education and practice. Let's see if we can find the DOI here. Yep, fairly easy, right here. So there's going to be a difference. So if you looked back, the DOI difference between the two, this had a HTTPS. You want to make sure it has this. So HTTPS has to be there. So when you click on this one, it of course doesn't have that. So just add HTTPS, and then your slashes before you put that into your paper. Because the goal of this is when I'm looking at it or when another instructor is looking at it, they can just copy and paste that DOI into whatever platform they use, Google or whatever, and they'll be able to find your paper fairly easily. So it's another effort for instructors to be able to verify that you actually went and sourced out your material. So let's head back to where we were before. So luckily, I don't think it's going to be too challenging for you to understand the difference between APA Style 6 and 7. I'll highlight one thing. When your references are a little bit different, so let's see if I can find a reference. Right here. So that's not a good example. Let's find a better one. Here's a good example. ETAL. So this is a little bit different. So as you can tell, this is fine to use ETAL in your reference section. So let's see. Let's go to the reference area and see if we can find that. So they omitted a lot of the references, but what you want to make sure you're doing is if you have more than 5 in a reference section, you have to list them all out now. So make sure you list all the names out. So if you're looking at a article online that you found that you enjoy, sometimes when you click the citation in Google Scholar, it won't give you all of them. It'll give a ... if it has more than 5. You'll need to go actually into the article and pull their names. And I'm not going to really take off points for that, but that's something that you need to remember if you're moving on to master's or doctorate level courses. All right, overall, I think you have APA Style 7 down. If you have any questions, reach out, ask for help. Happy to walk you through it. It can be confusing. There are differences. There are not a lot of differences in regards to going to affect you by how you're writing your paper. So I anticipate you'll be able to pick it up fairly easily. Thanks for listening in, and reach out if you have any questions.